In today's video, I'm going to be looking at a very unique and rare Sony CCD-SC55 Hi8 camcorder. And yes, I said that correct. This is a camcorder, not a Mavica. And I know people are going to look at it like, that looks like one of the floppy Mavica from back in the days. Nope, it's actually based on the 8mm tape format. And you can see here, has an LCD on the rear. And then, of course, there's one on the top. When you turn it on, it tells you what the functions are depending on what mode you have it on. Yeah, but you can see this is a camcorder. And here's, you can kind of see, if you have tape in there, where your tape's at, of course. And we'll go and look at the tape mechanism. It's actually very unique, too, on this. Okay, let's just see. Should just open up. There you go. And you can see that's a very unique mechanism. I worked on hundreds of handy cams, and I have yet to see a mechanism used. Not your typical B mechanism that you see during this era. This is a whole different mechanism for this camcorder. And I guess they did that to kind of slim this down so I could slim the whole camcorder down. And you can even see instead of putting the dampener on the side, which they're normally at, they put it on the top. So definitely unique, and the head drum's smaller. There's a few unique things about this mechanism. Good thing about it does seem to be complete. There's a pinch roller, hasn't fallen out, and nothing seems bent. So we'll go ahead and stick a tape in there and actually see what it does. Thankfully, this camcorder uses an old battery, because I'll show you why. Because this thing comes with a charging cable, and I'll go and explain that in a minute. Let's just go ahead and run through and see if it even powers on or anything. And yeah, I did see that LCD flash, but nothing came on, and it is in VTR mode. You do see the buttons. Let's go to camcorder. I'm seeing something like on the display, but it's not actually doing it. This might actually could be a backlight issue too, but either way it goes, I'm not seeing anything. Alright, let's just go back to VTR and see if this were actually this way here. And let's just see if we get any activity on the tape. Yeah, we're actually getting audio, no video. But that definitely does sound like it's out of alignment or the heads are dirty. It does not sound proper. Okay, but at least it's playing back in here. I'll go ahead and show you in the tape menu. And you can see there, tape is definitely moving, so that is working. But yeah, that audio don't sound good. And usually, if you got a tape path alignment issue and stuff, you also affect the audio too and stuff, and it will drop out and you'll hear that. So it could be out of alignment, it could be heads are dirty, but either way it goes, at least it's working. You can hear it forward. We'll go ahead and play. Yeah, the audio's somewhat starting to clean up, so it could be dirty heads. That's a good thing, but I won't know because I can't see the picture. Yeah, but the transport does sound healthy. That's a good thing, so at least it does seem to run through the functions. I'm not hearing any clicking, clanking, or anything like that. So transport itself does seem to be in good shape. Now, we have to take a look at the LCD, and that's what we'll be trying to repair today. But you can see here, there's a reason why I brought two of these, because originally I thought it would use the regular, typical cable that most Sony Handycams use. And you can see this is the power connection. It uses the same ones they put on later mini DV camcorders. Like the PC100, for example, uses the same cable. And this cable here by itself, their seller's asking 60 to 100 bucks, and I wasn't going to pay that. I'm not going to pay some greedy seller that wants a ton of money for one lousy cable. So instead of doing that, I actually brought a whole nother one complete that's like in mint condition, hoping that works. In worst case scenario, this can be used as a parts unit if that one doesn't work. But either way it goes, I'm going to go ahead and see what's going on, if we can get this LCD working, if needs a new one. If not, good luck in trying to find one. But either way it goes, we'll see what's going on. The thing I'm thinking, there's a cable that goes right here for the flex cable that goes for the LCD, and I'm hoping that's not like, you know, broken through or rubbed out and stuff, because over time from opening and closing it, it could wear it out and it could break that ribbon cable. So I'm hoping it's not that, and it may be something with the LCD, because the LCD I might be able to source or jerry rig another one in there. But if it is that cable, yeah, it's gonna be a pain to fix. It's not impossible to fix it. I have done them, but yeah, you have to put it under a microscope and then, you know, kind of scrape away the insulation and then go through each of the lines and pretty much solder new magnet wire to it and stuff. It come tedious process. I'll just put it that way. So, hoping that the cable's in good shape, and maybe it's a dodgy connection somewhere else. It needs to be reseated, or the backlight to the LCD itself is bad. So went ahead and have apart the Sony CCD-SC55 Hi8 camcorder, and I did find a major problem. When I went ahead to disconnect these ribbon cables to lift the board, this connector came completely off the board. It didn't even take much, literally just started to lightly, not even hardly pull on, the whole connector came off. And no, it didn't rip any of the solder connections. That's so easily fixable. Matter of fact, as you can see, I somewhat dodgily soldered it back on there for now, for the time being. But I am going to have to get this whole board on my bench under the microscope and resolder all the connections. Because if I'm assuming this one fell off so easily, the one going to the LCD is probably just as dodgy. Because I mean, literally, it didn't take much effort at all, and that just came completely off the board. So I wouldn't doubt that there's other connections that are bad on this thing, and that might be why the LCD isn't working. Now, I did also inspect the LCD on the other side as I went ahead and pulled the little cover off, and I didn't see no wear marks on the bend, which is a good sign. So the cable itself might actually be good, and it could be due to a dodgy connection, like a solder connection on that connector, or it could be the LCD backlight itself is bad or something. So I'll have to get this board either way on my bench under the microscope, fix all the dodgy connections and stuff, and then we'll go from there. So I went ahead, and as you can see, I figured out the problem with the reason why the LCD wasn't working. And unfortunately, it's pretty much a fatal problem with this thing, because you cannot get the part for it that I would need to fix it. And that is, of course, the flex cable that goes in between here to the LCD panel. And right where it goes into the LCD panel is actually where it's kind of worn through, because there's a very sharp bend there where the hinge is. And right there is where I suspect it's broken, because if I go and move it at that point, you can see there, yep, it went out. If I tilt just enough, it'll start working again. So there's definitely a problem with that flex cable. And unfortunately, to fix that, I would have to find another flex cable, which you're not going to find nowadays. These parts are obsolete. I mean, this camcorder is obsolete. Parts haven't been available for many years, and good luck in trying to find one without having to find a whole nother complete camcorder. And the only thing you can hope for is that you find a camcorder in worse condition that you don't mind taking the part off it. Now, I could take that flex cable out and attempt to repair it, but then again, how long will that repair last? So pretty much I'm gonna wait to see when the other complete camcorder comes. That's supposed to be in much better condition, and see if that one needs parts first. If that one needs parts, then parts will be used from this one. I know the LCD works on that other one because he did show it working. So I'll go based on that. And if that one doesn't need parts, then I may attempt to repair the flex cable on this. If not, and the other one does need parts for like the transport and stuff, then this one will be the parts camera. So we'll go ahead and wait and see. There'll be a part 2 to this video pretty much. So I went ahead and fully disassembled the CCD-SC55 Hi8 camcorder. And yeah, it's a project to get this transport completely out, but this is the transport out of it. And you can see there how much smaller the head is. You can see the whole entire transport, completely different transport than I'm used to seeing on most handy cams. I do got the carriage assembly out because this was bent, so I went ahead and bent it back in shape, and I'll put that back in there. I also went ahead and removed the auto head clean because these foams deteriorate, and what I was doing was leaving stuff on the head drum. Now you can see it's really nice and shiny, but there was a lot of junk on there, and I had to disassemble this, take this out, so that way it doesn't clog the heads anymore. And I suspect that's what was clogging the heads, because every time I would eject the tape and then put it back in there, the heads would get clogged for maybe a few seconds, and then picture and audio would come back right. So I suspect that was clogging it every time you stopped. But either way it goes, that's removed. I went ahead and fixed any bent parts, so I'm gonna get this transport completely back together, and then I'll worry about the rest of the camcorder. So went ahead and completely fixed the carriage assembly. Now that part isn't hitting this part here, and when I close it, it should be nice and smooth, which it is. That's the way it should close. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the power supply here, retract the motor completely, cycle it a couple of times, and we'll get this transport back into the camcorder. So here's what it would look like in the loaded position, and you can see there the guides are where they're supposed to be. This is now nice and smooth. It's no longer, when I used to close, I used to hit on that side, and I noticed it was harder to close, and sometimes it wouldn't close properly. Now it closes smoothly because if I go and eject, it ejects properly, and then when I push it down, now I can just use one finger and it goes down. So I bent it back into shape the best I could, so I'm gonna get this transfer completely back together now and work out the other issues with the camcorder. And just for those that want to note, this is how smooth it should actually latch. So when you go and close it, and that's it, shouldn't take much effort at all. So went ahead and took care of the dodgy connector yesterday that completely came off the board, and I went ahead and just took it completely off again, cleaned up the old solder, put fresh solder on there, and now it's nicely and well soldered. All the pads have nice even solder around. I do gotta still clean up some of the flux, but yep, it is clean. I did manage to melt some of this because I actually just used my rework station to do this instead of doing it manually. It was just much easier and quicker. But yeah, this doesn't matter. Either way it goes, nothing else melted, so I'm happy. And I'll get this board back once I get the chassis and everything put back together. So I do have the LCD apart. I was gonna see what I can do about this flex, but unfortunately this is not gonna be repairable because where it's having the dodgy connections right in between here and here, this plate, and unfortunately that's where it does a very sharp bend at. And even if I repair it, like I go and run little wires instead of, there, maybe I go ahead and, scrape erase some of the insulator here and there and run wire to it. The problem is just the action of bending back and forth because it's at a sharp angle. It's just gonna break after about 3-4 times again and only be a temporary fix, and that might actually make it completely unusable doing that. So I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. Maybe I'll find another camcorder with this cable right here and just replace the whole entire cable from a broken one. But either way it goes, as it sits, it's not repairable. So I figure I'll show you where it breaks, and literally you can see I have this apart here, the cable goes into here, and it breaks right there because it's just poorly designed, because that really bends at a very sharp angle every time, and over time that's just gonna break. It's probably a common problem on all of these, I'm almost assuming, but either way it goes, I'll get this back together and I'll be right back once I'm done. So do have the CCD-SC55 Hi8 camcorder reassembled. And as you can see, it is playing back a tape. We also do get audio too as well. I just don't want to play too much because copyrights, but yep, she is working and lives again, but the LCD, like I said, is flaky. If I move it down a certain angle and stuff, it will go out. Unfortunately, the only way to fix that is to actually replace the cable, because where the break is potentially at, it's right at that sharp edge, and even if I were to go ahead and solder magnet wire to it, and it was only going to be a temporary fix. So I'll either have to find another one of these for parts to take the cable out that's good, or just leave it the way it is. It does work as a player though, at least. And then I'll go ahead and fast forward. Okay, we'll go to rewind. And you can see she is working, and then we can go jump into play. And yep, it does work as it should now. So at least the transport's working correctly now, so that's the good thing. The camera does function too, and let me get this out of here and get some stuff out from behind it so you can see that the camera side also works as well. And that's always worked. There was never broken, but you can see there it does do that. The zoom lever should work, and yep. Of course, this LCD is not the greatest, but you can see there that the camera side still works and everything. So yeah, she is working. I mean, it is what it is. You're not be able to get this fully functional. I wish I could, but unfortunately that cable is bad, and now we have two. The LCD is not in the best shape. I would have to change this polarizer if I want to fix it 100%. I'll give you an overview of the camera, and you can see there, that's the top part, that's the front, and that's how it looks. It kind of looks like a Maverick. I wish they kind of stuck to the same display the Maverick did, where it wasn't swivelable, and that cable likely would have survived. But either way it goes, thankfully I'm shocked this actually holds up, because on a lot of days this never holds up. But you can see inside there, but at least it is halfway repaired, I could say. I wouldn't say a full success, because unfortunately the cable on that LCD is bad, but at least the deck functions and stuff, and can be used as a player. It can even be used as a recorder, actually. You'll just have to be careful how you tilt this display. Eventually it'll go out completely, but it is what it is. So this concludes the video. For those that want to see this transport and how it loads and unloads, you might not see much as it loads and unloads, but at least you can see inside the transport there. And then we'll go put a tape in. Okay. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see much because the door is blocking it, but there you go. And then let's just unload it. And there you go, pretty much. So this concludes the video. So for those that kind of want to see how the menu layout is on these, here you go. And you can see there, it actually has a digital time-based corrector and noise reduction, which I'm actually quite surprised. But let me see if I can hit the menu down there. LCD color, hue, beep. Kind of interesting menu. And then we'll go to the camera one. Okay. Even got for wind noise reduction. There you go. You got for your titles, digital zoom. You always keep digital zoom off, just make your picture look worse. Does have study shot, but there's the menu options and there's the menu layout pretty much. So there you go, and this completely concludes the video.